They won't tell you this story in any hospital. The method that stopped my nightly trips to the bathroom in just one day is so simple that you might even smile. But it has transformed the nights of hundreds of elderly people. My name is Dr. Richard Lawson. I'm a family physician from a quiet town in Oregon, and I've been practicing medicine for more than 50 years. Even now, in my 80s, I still unlock the doors of my little clinic every morning. I've helped thousands of people over the decades, but there's one story that changed the way I see medicine forever. It's a story no hospital brochure will ever tell you. A simple method that stopped my nightly trips to the bathroom in just one day. It sounds almost too simple to be true, but that one small change transformed my nights and the nights of hundreds of my older patients. For years, I lived with the same problem so many seniors face. I'd fall asleep peacefully, and within an hour or two I'd be up again, walking down the dark hallway. Sometimes 4, even 5 times a night. I tried cutting caffeine, I tried medications, I even tried ignoring it. Nothing worked. My sleep shattered into pieces. I woke up exhausted, foggy, frustrated, and old. Evenings began to scare me because I knew what the night would bring. It felt like my own body had turned against me. But what I discovered later changed not only my sleep, but my understanding of health itself. When I was younger, fresh out of medical school, I didn't take this problem seriously. Patients would tell me, "Doc, I keep waking up to use the bathroom." And I'd smile politely and say, "That's just age. It happens to everyone." I believed that, until time caught up with me. When it happened to me, I realized how those constant wake-ups quietly steal from you, not just rest, but focus, joy, and peace of mind. I remember one cold winter night when I woke up for the 5th time. The hallway was dark, my legs trembled, and I could barely keep my balance. The next morning, I could hardly stay awake during appointments. I almost made a serious mistake on a prescription, and my nurse caught it just in time. That moment shook me deeply. I sat alone in my office and thought, "Richard, you're becoming dangerous to your patients. You have to fix this." That night, I made a promise to myself. I would find the real cause, not just for me, but for every patient who suffered like I did. A few weeks later, an elderly man named George came to see me. He was 81 and looked completely defeated. He said, "Doc, I'm losing my mind. I can't sleep more than an hour without running to the bathroom. My life feels like torture." His words hit me hard because they were my words too. Instead of writing another prescription, I decided to start from scratch. We talked about his habits, his meals, his water intake, his evenings. Within 2 weeks of small adjustments, his nightly trips dropped from 6 to 3. After a month, he was sleeping through the night. When he told me, "Doctor, I finally feel alive again," something inside me shifted. I realized this wasn't just about the bladder. It was about how we live. My own breakthrough came one night thanks to my wife. She looked at me and said, "Richard, you drink soup every night and eat fruit before bed. Maybe that's why you keep waking up." I laughed but decided to test it. That night I skipped the soup and the fruit. For the first time in years, I slept straight through till morning. No wake-ups, no trips, just peace. The next night I did the same, and again, I slept like a child. Such a tiny change, yet it changed everything. But the doctor in me needed proof. I had to understand why it worked. I dove into research, medical journals, physiology books, sleep studies, and what I found made perfect sense. The body's fluid balance, blood flow, hormones, and circadian rhythm all affect nighttime urination. It wasn't just age. It was how our habits collided with time. For decades, I had handed out pills when what people needed was guidance. That realization humbled me. I felt ashamed, but grateful that I finally saw what I had been missing. As I changed my own habits, everything improved. My mornings felt brighter. My wife said I looked younger. Even my patients noticed. "Doc, you look 10 years younger," they'd say. And I'd tell them the truth. Good, deep sleep is the most powerful medicine we have. Over the next few years, I tested these discoveries with hundreds of patients. 5 small habits stood out. Simple, safe, effective, and they truly work. The first is to stop drinking after 6 in the evening. Most people don't realize that the majority of nighttime urine comes from what they drink in the evening. Water, tea, juice, soup, even alcohol, and they all count. Your body needs about 3 to 4 hours to fully process fluids. So if you drink at 7 or 8, your bladder will be active just when you should be in deep sleep. Shift your hydration earlier. It makes all the difference. One of my patients, Carol, stopped drinking tea and eating fruit after 6. She slept through the night the very first day. If I'd known it was this simple, she said, I'd have done it years ago. Hidden fluids count too. Soups, melons, juicy vegetables. Drink plenty during the day, but ease up after dinner. If you're thirsty later, take a small sip or rinse your mouth. And if you take medicine, use just enough water to swallow the pill. The second is to drain the fluid from your legs before bed. During the day, gravity pulls fluid into your legs. When you lie down, that fluid moves back into your bloodstream, and your kidneys go to work. That's why you wake up. Doctors call it gravitational edema. I call it stubborn fluid that refuses to behave. The fix is simple. After dinner, elevate your legs for 20 minutes. Lay on the couch with your feet up, or rest them against a wall while reading or watching TV. This helps your body drain excess fluid before bedtime so your kidneys rest at night too. A fisherman named Martin used to wake up 4 times a night. After he began this habit, he only woke once. He told me, "Doc, I finally sleep like I did in my 40s. If you have heart or blood pressure concerns, start gently. The goal is relaxation, not strain. Do it daily. Consistency matters most." The third is to empty your bladder completely before bed. As we age, the bladder holds less and signals urgency sooner. Even a small leftover amount can wake you up. So make it a ritual to empty your bladder right before bed, even if you don't feel the urge. Men, especially those with enlarged prostate, can use a gentle trick. After urinating, lightly press upward on the space between the scrotum and the anus. It helps release any remaining drops. Wait a few seconds before standing up. And at night, I recommend urinating sitting down. It relaxes your muscles and empties the bladder fully. The fourth is to avoid screens before bed. The blue light from phones and tablets tells your brain it's still daytime. It suppresses melatonin, your sleep hormone, and also disrupts the anti-diuretic hormone, which reduces urine production at night. In other words, your phone tricks your body into staying awake and making more urine. Henry, 78, used to scroll news headlines before bed. He laughed when I told him to leave his phone outside the room. But he tried it. Within a week, his night wake-ups were cut in half. "Doc," he said, "I didn't realize those screens were doing this to me." Another patient, Sarah, used to text her grandkids late at night. Once she stopped using screens an hour before bed and picked up a paperback instead, her sleep improved overnight. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary, quiet, dark, cool, and free of glowing screens. Use a regular alarm clock. Let your body remember the rhythm of night. The fifth habit is mental but powerful. Many people wake briefly and assume they need to urinate, but often it's just a micro-awakening between sleep cycles. If you always get up, your brain learns that pattern. Wake up equals bathroom. That's called conditioned awakening. To break it, stay still for a few minutes. Breathe deeply. Ask yourself, do I really need to go? Most times you'll drift back to sleep naturally. Marjorie, one of my patients, used to wake 4 times a night. After retraining herself to wait just a few minutes, she now sleeps through most nights. The first week was hard, she told me, but then my body learned to rest again. If you truly need to go, do it. But if it's just mild awareness, give your body a chance to settle. When I teach these 5 habits, I always say, don't do them all at once. Start with 1. Maybe tonight stop drinking after 6, or elevate your legs while you watch TV. Once you feel the improvement, add another. Within weeks, many people go from 5 nightly wake-ups to 1, and some stop waking at all. I've watched these changes ripple through lives. Better sleep, sharper memory, brighter mornings. Blood pressure improves, mood lifts, falls decrease. I'll never forget Ellen, a gentle woman who once fell during a midnight bathroom trip and fractured her hip. Her recovery was long and painful. After healing, she practiced these habits and she never had another fall again. These steps don't replace medical care. If you have kidney disease, diabetes, or heart issues, talk to your doctor first. But in most cases, these habits support your treatment beautifully. They're the foundation of healthy aging. For decades, I focused on prescriptions and lab results. But true healing, the kind that changes lives, often begins with the simplest daily choices. Once I began teaching those choices, I witnessed transformations no pill could create. Today, I'm 80 years old. I still open my clinic every morning. I still greet every patient with a smile. People ask, "Doctor, how do you stay so sharp at your age?" And I always say, I sleep well. Deep, uninterrupted sleep is the closest thing we have to a fountain of youth. It restores the mind, repairs the body, and renews the spirit. If you're listening to this and you're tired of sleepless nights, know this: change is possible. You don't have to accept it as just aging. Try even one of these habits tonight. Limit evening fluids, raise your legs, empty your bladder, turn off the phone, or stay still when you wake. Just one small act can start a cascade of healing. Give your body the chance, and you may wake tomorrow feeling more rested than you have in years. Every symptom is your body whispering for help. When you listen early, you heal faster. The body speaks softly first, through fatigue, through restless nights, through gentle discomforts. If we ignore it, the voice grows louder. But if we answer with patience and care, the body rewards us with balance. So tonight, choose one thing. Just one. Pour your last glass of water earlier. Turn off the screens. Breathe deeply before you sleep. These aren't small actions. They're medicine. Real, natural, powerful medicine. In all my years as a physician, I've learned that the best remedies are often the simplest ones. The secret to a good life isn't hidden in pills or machines. It's in the rhythm of your habits. Fix the rhythm and everything else begins to heal. Aging doesn't have to mean suffering. You can sleep deeply again. You can wake up clear, strong, and at peace. That's what I wish for every patient who walks through my door, and for you, listening now. Thank you for spending this time with me. Take care of yourself. Sleep well. And remember, health begins in the quiet moments, long before the morning light.